As you can see, I've done a lot of test popping of corn lately. I've narrowed it down to 9 ears of corn that I thought popped the best. And for those of you who are new subscribers, these are an F2 generation of a cross between glass gem corn and some grocery store popcorn. This is a look at the corn on the day that I harvested last year. And as you can see, it retained a lot of the size that the glass gem corn had, with some of the plants being about 8 feet tall. And it also retained a lot of the ornamental appearance of the glass gem corn. But it also inherited the improved popping ability of the popcorn. After I narrowed it down to these 9 ears, I went through these bowls of popcorn and I picked out the ones that had the best percentage of kernels popped. And then from there I considered the size of the kernels that popped. Then finally I tasted the ones that I thought that were best. And after all of that, I came down to these 3 ears as the ones I'm going to take forward to next year, the F3 generation. What I'm going to do is just remove some seeds from each of these 3 ears, and then I'm going to mix them together, and that's what I'm going to use to grow this project this year, as well as continuing my popcorn project into its 3rd generation. I'm going to try to grow a couple of other types of corn. This one is called Atomic Orange, and my son gave me this for Christmas. And it's supposed to produce really early, so I think if I plant it earlier than the others, I think it'll be able to be harvested before the others start producing tassels. And if the others start producing tassels earlier than I expect, then I can always remove the tassels from this to keep it from crossing my project corn. And I have another type of corn called striped japonica. It's an ornamental corn. Not only are the ears pretty, they're real deep dark red, but the foliage is striped. And I'm not sure if this is caused by a simple recessive trait or if it's a polygenic trait that has several genes that influence this look. But I hope to find out. What I'm planning to do with it is plant it at the same time as my project corn. And what I'll do is I'll remove the tassels from this so it won't be producing any pollen to pollinate anything. And then I'm going to let the project corn cross it just to see what happens with that. I thought I should add this for new gardeners. In this video I talked about growing 2 different types of corn at the same time, and in general you don't want to do that because they will cross-pollinate, and when they cross-pollinate you can end up with results that aren't always desirable. For instance, if you grew sweet corn and popcorn at the same time, the sweet corn would cause the popcorn to be a little like the sweet corn and vice versa, and you would end up basically ruining both. I also mentioned cutting the tassels off of one of the types of corn, and that's something else you don't want to do when you're growing corn for the first time. Just leave the tassels alone. That's one way to control which type of corn pollinates which. And since I'm intentionally crossing, that's one thing that I like to do. So to sum it up, you beginning gardeners out there, just grow one type at a time. But that's what I got going on so far. If you're growing corn this year, let us know what type of corn you're growing. And if you have any thoughts on my project corn, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you're just now finding this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We'll see you next time.